Now we are live. Hello everyone and welcome to one more proactive broadcast. Today's agenda is going to be resource management with Dynamics 365 project operations. And questions will be collected through the entire seminar and we will try to answer them by the end of the session, but if not during the live webinar, we will reply all of them afterwards, okay? So feel free to ask your questions. Starting with who we are Proactive, part of the Fellow Mind group. I will be very short on the introduction, and basically one of the things that we have been doing over the years is really focusing on the Microsoft platform. I myself, Alan Rocha, I'm the Director of Project Operations and Business Applications at Proactive, and I'm trying to bring to you a little bit of more awareness of how this new product called Project Operations can help project-centric organizations. And today our focus will be on the resource management part, but I will touch base a little bit on each one of the sides. I have 18 years experience on project and portfolio management, and I'm today a Microsoft MVP with Microsoft Project for actually 11 years holding the title, and I feel very proud for it. Last year we have been nominated the Partner of the Year in Project and Portfolio Management globally, and I think it's an important highlight for today's session. That's why we have it hanging here. Let's get started. Perfect. So the agenda for today will be quite simple. We have a short period and I'll try to cover as much information as I can during this session. We'll give you a basic Dynamics 365 overview. Then we go for a resource management overview where we are going to be talking about the processes, some capabilities within this module, and also touch base on other areas like project management and a little bit of time management as well. In the end, or in the middle of the session, we'll start doing some live demos and show you how actually the tool works and give you an overview and a glimpse of how this can support your organizations to run your projects and manage your resources in a centric way. Okay? By the end, we have the wrap-up and Q&A. Let's move on. So today we are living in a world where actually there is a lot of different data silos, and they do really impact success. That means you have to jump around several different apps and places and platforms and systems. And that's why we have seen a lot of people, even though you are working, and this is still a very productive and collaborative platform, you still need to go and act on these different systems and platforms. What we actually have done and what Microsoft did to ensure that we have one unique platform and give you a much easier way and single entrance for your business in a project-centric organization is building the Dynamics 365 project operations. This solution that can be applied or installed within your Dynamics 365 environment will cover and satisfy project managers, resource managers, account managers, partner managers, CX level, financial managers, and also team members. And you can ask me, how is this possible? How can we actually cover all those different roles and parts? It's because now project operations have a native integration with finance and operations. So you can have project operations is standalone, just running, and that's what we're going to be showing today. But if you want to integrate with your finance and operations, your accounting system, the system supports and it's going to be fully and natively integrated. So basically, project operations covers several aspects, and I would like to highlight how is the basic process that we're going to be looking at our session today. We have project sales. And that means you can manage your Dynamics 365 sales using opportunities, you can manage your quotations and contracts, and on top of that, we actually can now apply project planning capabilities to support the sales part. So imagine you are building a quotation and you really want to have accurate estimates about your projects. Project operations will help you because it's connecting these two words and elevating that information to the quotation side. Then, once we win or we get that project to be running, we are going to be jumping into the resource utilization part, and that's what we are going to be focusing today. Just to give you, again, an overview of everything, team collaboration. While you're running the project, we fully use capabilities on Microsoft Teams to leverage the communication platform that is our today life. Everyone is on Teams, everyone is working on Teams. time and expenses are fully integrated with the system. So you can allow your team members to not only report time on their projects, but also expenses that can be fully connected to your invoices and your accounting system. That's why we are touching on the project accounting part. Invoices can be generated based on fixed price, time and material, or even product invoices. And once those are done, we can collaborate and take full advantage of business intelligence already within our system. Then we have all those different capabilities that can be covered within the system. We have the deal management, where I can have multiple contract types. But what we are going to be focusing today, it is on the resource management part, which covers skills management, resource requests and proposals. There is a built-in process for requesting a resource and approving and selecting and even proposing different resources to your managers. We are going to be touching basing on the side, on the project planning part, how I can elaborate a basic project plan which will give me an overview of what are the requirements of resource capabilities within that project. Which means once that project is running, we got the right resources, we are now able to incorporate time and expenses directly within the system, so team members can provide accurate and realistic progress of their tasks and give the project managers what is actually going on. Looking for a quick overview, I have actually highlighted in this slide some of the capabilities we are going to be demonstrating today. So we are going to be touch basing on the work breakdown structure. That means instead of you just trying to estimate a project, we are able to connect to the Microsoft Project for the Web capabilities and build a realistic project plan following maybe a level of work breakdown structure. We are able to estimate on top of generic resources, and those generic resources will become your requests in a second. And I will show you this, how the system really makes seamless for project managers to help the sales team and at the same time facilitate the delivery of your projects. With Teams integration, we have all those capabilities fully enabled within our tool of Microsoft Teams. Then skills management, a very important topic. While I'm requesting a new resource, I'm able to find out what are the basic requirements. Maybe I need some certifications to run on that project, and that's what we are going to be covering. I'm able to send those pre-requirements or prerequisites to the resource managers in order to get the right resource allocated to my project. We have very, very extensive and configurable search capabilities. Not only search capabilities, but you see today that when resource managers are receiving those requests, there is an optimization scheduling system behind the scenes that automatically identify what are the best matches of resources based on your prerequisites, and will show for you what are their availability and which resource you can actually propose to the project manager. We have a tool that's quite interesting regarding the reconciliation. We will show that in a second. But it's basically, once a contract is set or your project is going to run with a certain number of hours, you're able to identify what has been provided and agreed with the resource managers and what you're actually using within your project. All of this in the same workspace for the project manager. Time and expense, as I mentioned, we are going to be touch basing on the very intuitive experience for time entry briefly, and also some options of how I can approve or reject a specific time entry. Taking a look of some capabilities that comes with different roles here. Basically, we have the project management part giving you a very, very speed project delivery, empowering project managers, giving them the Microsoft Project for the Web as the tool to plan and create their estimates on a very, very realistic way. We use Microsoft Teams to enlarge and really enrich the communication capabilities within the system, and built-in graphical visualizations with heat maps and alerts within directly in project operations will tell you if you are over budget, under budget, or maybe you are underutilizing or overutilizing your resources. Project managers, team members, they have the capability, again, to get a full connection with project assignments. You're able to actually build your time registration directly from your Outlook calendar. Is that not a dream that we always wanted? we are able to import those items directly from your Outlook calendar and map them with projects and tasks that you are actually running, and this can be sent directly to the accounting system. We are able to actually provide a very quick overview of what is going on in regards of my utilization over the week with built-in heat map charts as well. Then we go for finally our resourcing part, how to optimize our resource utilization. And in this view, we are actually combining what is called the schedule board. It's a very sophisticated mechanism that allows resource managers to clear overview all the allocations, requests, and availability across the projects. And this is not just a report, it's actually an actual tool where you can drag and drop items and really make changes within your organization. We take full I would say advantage of Power BI capabilities. You see today how those reports can be directly connected within the system, and most important, when you're using Dynamics 365, you do not need to refresh those reports. There are a new protocol that allow you to open the report, and that information will be always live and always up to date. So, moving on, I think I will, before we start with our demo, show a bit of a demo process flow. And this demo process flow has been presented in full, I would say, in another session we had done, which has been actually quite popular with over 3,000 views in our previous webcast. But it shows, I would say, a full picture. While you are tracking an opportunity, you are actually elaborating a quotation. And if I actually help you here, if a little drawing, you can start by tracking an opportunity, you build your proposal. When you're estimating the deal, pay attention that now we are actually using an existing project to build a plan, and that will support your sales team to give a very, very accurate estimate. Once that estimate is done, we are able to set a baseline. That means if I have negotiated and I win that deal, happy face, now I can start maybe to request resources to actually deliver that project. And that's what we are going to be focusing today. These are the basic process that we are going to be focusing today. The creation of a project, building a realistic project plan using the new Microsoft project for the web. Once that is done, we'll get an overview of the resource utilization that I need in that project. And then we can start using the mechanisms of requesting resources and add specific prerequisites or maybe preferences, and then get those requests sent to our line managers or resource managers, in this case, Peter Scott. Peter Scott will be able to review all items or all requests that are coming to him, and there is an internal and built-in process flow that allow you to actually evaluate which resource is the best match for those requests. Once you have staffed your team and you review those allocations and commit on a specific resource, we are also now able to add one extra layer, because the project is going to start running, and we have Thiago Pais here logging time on a project, getting that time reviewed by the project manager, and all of this can go to your accounting system. So we tried to limit our demo to those items today, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's start with just opening the system. So as you see here, this is actually the Dynamics 365 homepage. How you access Microsoft Project Operations? Very simple. You just click on Project Operations. In that view, you're going to have a set of items where you can be working with, and starting by a predefined dashboards where you can look at what are the specific projects that I'm running, what is the cost that I'm actually managing. There are other predefined dashboards like resource management dashboards where I can take a look at requests by role or maybe demands, and all these built-in and fully allowed for you to actually extend and configure those dashboards. We are going to touch base on the dashboards afterwards. I would like to show you on the left side there is a very intuitive navigation for the users. So I have here, so if I just zoom it a little bit, on this navigation, I can see all my work with dashboards, time entries, expenses, and approvals, and also my projects. If I navigate to my projects, you'll be able to see now all projects that I'm running within this portfolio. And not only look at those projects, but we also can enable interactive charts or graphs on the side, allowing me to see maybe actual cost or even actual work. If I click on one of those items, I can easily navigate and explore that information within our system. Before I jump into the project, I would like to show you how actually the tool connects with the sales part. Remember that project operations is not only to manage projects, it's fully connected to the sales and accountability of the projects. So if we look a little bit down here, we actually have a place where we can navigate between different areas. And look at this, I have a dedicated area for resources and a dedicated area for sales. Once I go into sales, now a completely new setup of items will appear. And those items, if you're running with an F&O environment connected, they will also be replicated live using dual write capabilities. Here I'm able to actually manage all my opportunities. And for this specific case, I have pre-created an opportunity, which I will open right now. That opportunity holds some quotations, as you see here. So basically, when I go for the propose, I'm opening a quotation, and pay attention what you're getting while you're using project operations on an integrated mode and also connected to your sales part. The quotation provides you not only a quotation analysis of cross-margin profitability, you have a clear overview of customer budget and expect to be delivered on that project. All quote lines based on different types of billing could be fixed price, time and material, and most important, profitability analysis, looking at the contract and making sure that you get that information. Our focus today is for resource management. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to access my project directly from that specific quotation, which, by the way, once I win that quotation, it will automatically become a contract for your users. And what I will do is, in that contract, I have a time and material project and a fixed price project. They can be connected to different projects or even to the same project. And that's what we are going to be doing now. Now, I'm opening my project. And now we are moving out of the sales part and jumping directly into the resource management capabilities. What you see here is a summary of your project. Basically, having a quick overview of where you are on a process based on your way of working that can start from new, quotation, planning, and deliver. You have tabs that you can navigate through it. So I can navigate to my tasks, I can navigate to my summary, and we are going to be looking at all those items in a moment. And basically, this gives to the project manager a very, very easy overview of how things are going. Project operations, because it's connected to the contract management of your project, also allow you to bring some automatically generated KPIs telling you if you are on time or you maybe are over budget, like in this example. So how project managers start building their basic project or maybe a work breakdown structure? They can just navigate into the tabs task. I will zoom it a little bit. And in the tasks tab, let me just refresh. I go to the tasks, to the tab tasks, which is loading Microsoft project for the web. In here, this is the new Microsoft project for the web. It's the new scheduling engine for Microsoft project and project operations. You see that there is a big difference from the old project. For example, one of the things, if I want to create a new task here, I can just insert and say, this is going to be my demo task, resource management. I would like to add another task, insert, and this could be my sample overview. Simple like that. There is no saving time, there is no waiting time. You type it and it's already saved within the system. But most important, this is kind of a grid view. But look at this, I have resources actually assigned here. What happens if I need to add a specific resource to one of those tasks? You can just click on the add button and basically it will show which resources are already part of your project. But in case I need maybe another tab, which could be a robotics engineer, I'm able directly from project operations to add a generic resource which will create a bucket for you to make a request. So I need robotics engineer. I can select the roles that are predefined within my, so robotics engineer, and save. Project operations now have created that user, have allocated that user to a specific task. Once you type an amount of days, it will automatically look for a calendar provided by the system and make that information in effort hours for you. What is most interesting here, the same plan that you are looking here can also be seen on a board view. And that board view allow you to actually look on a, I would say, Kanban look like, where you can just drag tasks around based on your own way of, I would say, categorizing them. But on a resource management perspective, I can actually use assign to, and in a click of a button, I can easily assign tasks to my team. So who's going to secure core resource is going to be Alan. Who is going to scope when the scope is completed? Maybe that conduct analysis is going to be my operation analyst, and maybe draft a preliminary item is going to be my robotics engineer. If I go back to my plan, look that those items have now been automatically allocated to the resources. Again, from a resource management perspective, I can build my plan in the way I want. It comes in a very, very simplistic way where I can just build that realistic schedule, not forgetting the timeline view, which gives the project managers a leverage of a graphical visualization of the plan with capabilities like dragging and dropping to create predecessors and automatically rescheduling the entire project. But okay, what is the beautiful part here? I just built a project, almost looked like I was in Excel, but then when you go into the team view, in the team view, all that information will be automatically calculated and telling you how much you need for each one of those resources. Look at my robotics engineer and giving me even the tasks he's assigned and the demand I have on that specific resource. And that's where we are going to be leveraging some of the capabilities of generating a requirement. That means I need now a resource to work on this task, a real person. I can just click generate requirement, and the requirement is now generated. What is this requirement? If you go here, I actually have another requirement that needs review, but I would like to show you when you start a new requirement. So what I'm doing right now is telling my resource managers what I need to be fulfilled. So I need someone for that specific period. I need the person who has specific capabilities that could be, let's say, he needs to have assembly line design capacity, and has to be very proficient, and I need this person to actually to come from a specific area. It could be France, so this project is going to be running in France. Once that is done and you go back to your team view, you can actually see that you have a requirement that you are working on, and that requirement now can be submitted. So when you submit that request, resource managers are now able to see that information. The requests have been submitted. Of course, you can recall and work on those requests after. But for the project manager, the request has been done. I have actually submitted my request. It's submitted as a status. I requested 160 hours for a robotics engineer with specific requirements, certifications, or skills. What the resource manager will do? He will access his resource tab view. Here he has access to all the resources. He can actually check all requests, including the robotics engineer that I just got. And before I go here, I also have something called a schedule board. And this is one of the key points for the resource management capabilities within project operations, which is the same component used for field services. So if you are using field services, the same resource you are working there will be present here. So when I look at this item, I'm able to see all resources that I'm working on. I can see allocations and even make different adjustments by just moving them around and reallocating those tasks between projects. So very, very easily, line managers and resource managers can start interacting and providing that information to the users. All my requests will be shown in the bottle. So basically, when I look here, that is my robotics engineer request. And in order to speed up some of the demo, we have a few minutes left. Once you click Find Availability, it will automatically match with the prerequisites you have sent. So I'm looking for a robotics engineer. It has to come from France, and it also has to have specific knowledge on some areas. In this case, I don't have anyone available, so I will just remove some of the criteria here to make it a little bit, showing a little bit more people in my search. And now I'm able to see all the people that could fulfill that requirement. I can actually see existing requirements for some resources. Most important, if I want to check the skill set of a resource, I can right-click, look at the resource card, and it tells me which roles this person or this resource is playing and what skills he has. Again, for demo purposes, I will show you another overview that I have already submitted and allocated a resource. Once you book a resource, the project managers, they can come back to their projects and they will see something like, okay, now you have a request that needs review. I can open that request, and that's where things start getting really interesting, because here I can see, of course, my original request and proposed resources. The proposed resources are people that my resource manager has offered to me. But pay attention here. I'm not only giving on a specific time, I'm actually providing time on April and in May. And if I would like to accept some of these people, I can just accept a specific resource. There we go. We have 3 minutes left, and I would like to show you a very, very interesting part. Basically, once I have accepted that resource, we have something called the resource reconciliation. And that's where you can actually see all the resources that you are using and if they are having booking shortage or exceeding bookings. So for example, I'm actually booked Doll Phillips, but he has no tasks assigned. And I can see actually Alan, he has actually some tasks assigned, which are project business case, get team, but I actually still missing some hours in front, so I only have Alan until March. Project operations makes a lot easier for project managers to extend bookings. So I can actually come to Alan and just extend that booking because I need Alan for a couple more days or a couple more hours, fulfilling that requirement, giving you a clear overview of what is missing. Now, the beautiful part. Again, in respect of the time, I would like to show some dashboards. If I go into my resource overview, which is bringing Power BI into play for my environment fully connected with my Dynamics 365 database, in this case now I'm bringing all the information of capacity, I'm bringing information regarding all allocations. I'm using AI to start predicting and telling me that when a resource is actually booked over 300 hours, you always pick Alan or you always pick that specific resource. When you plan over 1,000 hours, you always pick that specific contractor. AI fully built in within the system. Not only that, giving you an overview, but also telling you a very, very interactive way to see what is the allocation capability on all these resources. How can we go one step further? We have 1 minute, and I really want to blow your mind in the last minute of this presentation. And that means once I go to my open Power BI, I can look at maybe resource forecast. Everyone needs resource forecast. In the resource forecast, I'm able to see what are the hard bookings. So these are committed resources that I have. But if I open, I can actually see also the proposed bookings. In the bottom, you can actually forecast the utilization of those resources and have clear overview. Teams overview with the composition tree, giving all the line managers the clear visualization of which resource and how they are actually with their specific availability, and if they are over allocated, you can even see which project that specific resource is working on by just using and navigating through the Teams overview. To finalize, resource utilization, where you can clearly see all the booked time and planned time for a resource, which project the resource is working on, what are the actuals coming for that project, and I think I will stop here. And we have 10 seconds for questions, otherwise send us an email and we'll be glad to help you with any information regarding project operations. Welcome to the new project-centric world.